Hey, my name is PolishLynx and I hope you're ready because we are going to play the game called Sounds of Her Love. So, I believe there are choices. I believe there are. So, let us begin and see what this is about. Cute girl, of course. Please enter a character name. Should I? I think it's not an Automa Yuri game, so I will go with my standard real life first name. Let's go. Something is ringing. Not over here, of course. Why won't it stop? Yeah, I wish I could hear anything at all, but I don't hear anything at all. My hand limb reaches out towards the noise, but I can't seem to locate it. Must be around here somewhere. I sense something rigid at my fingertips. Suddenly I hear a loud crash beside me. The ringing stops. Forcing myself upright, an intense light greets my eyes. Beside me stands a hazy figure I can't make out. Do you mind not making so much noise in the morning? Your sister is still asleep. As my eyes adjust to the light, I see my mother standing beside me. I look downwards and see my table lying on the floor, my alarm clock just next to it broken into pieces. I'm not cleaning it up. Just get ready for school and come downstairs. I made breakfast. My mother walks off. I don't think she's particularly happy. Well, I doubt many parents would be with their children creating such a ruckus. Still, it was my fault. I was half asleep for crying out loud. Well, technically it was your kind of fault. So my own. I prop myself away from the bed sheets and pick up the table and broken alarm clock off the floor. I check what the clock once read and conclude it's almost 7 AM. It's almost 3 AM. Anyway, unfortunately today is Monday, so it's back to school with me, although it's cliché, I'm really looking forward to it. It's not like I dislike it, but you'd think after transferring here things would have been a lot more lively. So far, nothing out of the ordinary has happened. So I can't really expect life to be like that. This isn't a manga after all. It's a visual novel. Opening my drawers, I pull out my uniform. It's still as good as new. I haven't had much time to wear it in. I've only been here a week. For an international school, the uniform is quite generic. I was expecting something more prestigious. I guess this is still Japan after all. Even though I've lived here all my life. Right, is there really no sound in this game? Okay, I'll just try this like that for a second. Okay, so there should be something. Why do I not hear anything in my... Okay, now I hear everything in my headphones. Okay. Even though I've lived here all my life, my mother was dead set on sending me here. She's not a native, so she at least wanted me to connect with her side of the family. Despite her promise that I can be in touch with my English heritage was a good idea. The school isn't even English. It's Welsh. So it's British, basically. I'm pretty sure that's the country north of England. How can you not know that? I don't think there is much difference anyway. Wow. After finishing doing up my blazer, I hear a shout from downstairs. Son, your breakfast will go cold at this rate. You may as well let me have yours if you're going to waste it. Letting out a sigh, I closed the door to my room and had to join my parents. What the heck is with the difference in the height of the door? Reaching the dining room, my mother and father greet me with warm smiles. Maybe not so much my mother, I still think she's pretty pissed. My father gives an empty chair a haughty slap, still smiling all the while. Sit down, my son. We have a hefty breakfast your mother would approve of. Of course I would. I made it after all. In front of me sits a traditional English breakfast. Eggs, toast, beans, sausage, and the like. I don't think I can eat all of this. That's not what I said. The empty chair is pulled out from beside me. I guess my sister finally woke up. When it comes to the morning, she's not very talkative. Or not spoiled to say the least. I'm sure she'll fire up later for. Sounds like me. Yeah, my beautiful family has gathered at last. My sister acknowledges my father with a quick glance and starts eating her breakfast in silence. Tell me, Adul, how are your studies? Was that hefty fee worth it? His school is private and teaches a foreign curriculum, so tuition fees are quite large. Luckily my father can pay for it, and it's only for my final year. It's going okay. The initial plans of it wore off after the third day. I guess it's like a normal school, not much different from the ones here in Japan. I did have an experience at the traditional Japanese high school, but due to our relocation to Tokyo, I had to transfer. If there was one noticeable comparison, it's the students. Most of them are not natives, and a lot more quite full of themselves. Even I'm only half Japanese. Really? That much for normal school? What was the point of the fee then? You want our son to get the best education possible, right? That and he's closer to my side of the family. I don't want to point it out, but the mother of mine in this game has some weird view. Just because the school is private doesn't mean it's better. Anyway. Reasonable. Tell me this, son. Have you been speaking to any girls at least? Wink, wink. Are you really asking him that? Both my parents engage in a stare of things like this happen all the time. For them, this is only a bit of banter. Checking the clock on the wall, I realize I'm a bit behind the schedule. I give my family farewell and head towards the door. Wait! That clock is... I hear my sister say something just as I leave, for she doesn't chase after me to tell me. It was strange to hear her at this time of day, but I guess I can't fret about it now. I continue on the journey I'm only just getting used to. The street leading to the school is particularly empty. Only a couple of locals are walking by and the number of students is quite low. Checking my watch, I realized that I had left considerably early. I guess the clock at home was a bit slow. A faint noise distracts me from my wrist. There is a voiceover for them. Ahead of me is a female student, presumably from my school, picking up the contents of her bag off the floor. I guess she dropped it? I consider helping her, but by the time I move my feet towards her, she is already finished and continues onwards to school. She rubs the back of her head and her braids away softly in the wind. Just as I pass where she was standing, I notice a small card on the floor. Instinctively, I pick it up. In my hands is a library card with what I assume to be her name on it. Seridwen? Considering this is a Welsh school, I guess that's the origin of her name. I look up and she's nowhere in sight. Oh crap, man. Quickly setting myself off, I run towards the entrance of the school. I just hope I can catch up to her. It doesn't take me long to get her in my sight. I call out to her. Seridwen, you're up this. Eh? Is her reaction. Okay. We actually need to get here. Seridwen turns around flustered, and I approach her with a racked brief. Here you go.
Thank you.
Okay, is it me? Alright, maybe it's still my headphones, but I feel like the voiceover is quite quiet. She gives me a shy response as I hand her back the card.
How did you know my name?
Yeah, I wondered that myself. I mean, for sure it wasn't on your card. It does look like she's very comfortable with talking to me. It's on the card.
Oh. It's pronounced Carrie, like a K.
Carrie. Sorry, my bad.
Don't worry.
Hey, I worry about that. Carrie still looks rather uneasy. I guess some people just aren't that fluent with others. Well, it's a good thing you got it back. We're both pretty early, so it would have taken a while for someone else to find it. By then, they probably would have given it into Lost and Found.
Thank you.
She thanks me again, and her eyes are averted slightly away from my direction.
This card is important to me.
Maybe put it in a safer place. You wouldn't risk losing it then. I know I don't have the right to tell her what to do with her son, but things like this are common sense.
I use it a lot. It's easier for me to reach it quickly.
I guess she's an avid book fan. She must be quite smart. That or she just likes books. I decided to continue the conversation. What sort of books are you interested in? I guess everyone needs a hobby. Oh my god, the second one is... it's just bad. I mean, anyone could say that's a bad choice. I mean, imagine saying that to someone. I guess everyone needs a hobby. It's just bad. Okay, so what sort of books are you interested in? Fiction or non-fiction?
I read a variety.
Well, that was short answer.
I want to study literature.
Interesting. Very interesting. So we know one thing about you already. Actually, two. Or maybe three. Name? Okay, I don't know what just fell. Or where did it fall? And that's not good at all. Alright, I know. The freaking thing that you put on the arm. And you can have a cell phone or MP3 for player in it. While running, for example. So that's what I use it for, at least. Anyway, so we know the name is Carrie. She loves books. The third thing would be no specific genre with it, of books. And the fourth thing, actually, she wants to study literature. Let's remember that. Anyway. She looks at me as if she expects me to build to her, for I completely deny her expectations. Sounds great. It's good to have something you're passionate about. Yeah, must be nice. Her lips move. I guess she can't stop herself from smiling. Moving my feet again, I set off towards the entrance of the school, turning around to face Carrie before I make any sufficient progress. It's still early, but we should still get to go to class. It's a bit cold after all.
You're right. I need to check what class I'm in.
She does know what class she's in. School started a week ago. Don't tell me she has amnesia. Seriously? That's what you thought? Amnesia? Really? God damn it. Carrie shyly passed me and heads towards the school, and I follow suit, heading towards my class. I guess she was a pretty interesting person. Why won't you go with her? Show her. She might be a new transfer student. God damn it. She doesn't know anyone. Think! Classes are well underway. and the class is filled with a widespread sense of lethargy. It is a Monday after all, and Mondays suck. For this Monday might be good because of Carrie, and lunch is just around the corner. I would eat something. Does anyone really want to learn about the structure of the inner mitochondrial membrane run before lunch? I lean back in my chair and stare down at my notes, which are just a little more than scribbles on a sparse page. In the end, I can't really say I expected anything different when transferring here. After all the basic principles of teaching are the same wherever you are. There's no reason as to why the school would be any different. For the extra language lessons are a pain in the ass. It's funny how everyone is saying pain in the ass, but the proper saying is pain in the back. I remember that from English. In university, of course, because in high school it was completely useless. Just as I let out a small, but definitely noticeable yawn, the teacher glares sharply in my direction. "What? Are you Arthur?" "As always, teacher." "No, sir." "Ah, that's right. How about you answer the question at the bottom of the page 3, then?" I look at the closed book on my desk and realize what the teacher is referring to. I definitely haven't done a good job at pretending to work. Still obliged and turn to page 3. Moving my eyes toward the bottom of the page, I find a question that's somewhat relevant to what I managed to hear during the lesson. What is the space between the two mitochondrial membranes called? Is that the matrix? No, that's the bit inside. "Well, boy, do you have an answer?" Mitochondrial gap. Refuse to answer. Okay, I'm not going to refuse to answer, I guess. Intermembrane space. I wish I could zoom back to remember what was the question. And there is no history, so I don't think it would be a gap. Also, the same as in the horror game we played just, well, yesterday basically, the clock doesn't show the hour because it doesn't have the indicators which would show the hour. What the hell? Anyway, I believe that's not in mitochondrial gap. It's definitely not the option to refuse to answer. So I'm going to say intermembrane space. Looking across to the opposite page, I spot a diagram of a mitochondrion with a nicely labeled arrow showing me the answer. Intermembrane space, sir. The confidence in my voice, or more likely the fact I got the answer right, seems to have left my teacher surprised. Well done, Arthur. I guess you're paying attention after all. Like always. I certainly wasn't. The teacher continues on with the lesson, leaving me to lean back in my chair once again. This time, I'll try not to yawn. Soon enough, class ends and I trail behind the mass gathering to exit the room. The crowd slowly shifts. The class only has about 30 people in it anyway. So considering it's high school, I believe our class was 24 and it was max. So I'm not sure if I'm correct. I suck behind the other students residing in the corridor and make my way to the cafeteria. Chatter radiates from these waves of people in the cafeteria. I weave my way through those standing around and people walking the opposite direction. The line is long, as always. Unlike most schools, the food here is actually quite good, so naturally it's in high demand. I join this queue of students left famished by the morning lessons. Time slows as the line slowly inches forward. All of this for a sandwich. I know, mate. Fair lash, are they? Made with 100% Welsh beef. That's what they say anyway. I find it hard to believe they would import that stuff to Japan just for this one school. Eventually, I'm the one gazing at what's on offer at the counter. To be honest, that guy was right. The beef here sure is lush. It's quite a prestigious school. I buy the sandwich and stuff it into my bag. This place is quite packed, so I doubt I'd find a place to sit down. Just as I'm about to leave, I spot a table that's actually empty. Well, almost. I know someone familiar eating by herself. It's that girl from earlier! Carrie, wasn't it? I wonder if I should approach her. I hardly know her, but I kind of want to sit down. It's cold outside. Okay. If you were to say, leave her be, I would have to crush myself here. God damn it, what am I doing today? First dropping stuff, now hitting the desk. Okay, hopefully I didn't scratch it anywhere. Anyway, I'm going to approach, of course. Why wouldn't I? You know what? I may as well approach her. She's alone after all. I've been in that situation plenty of times this past week. I know how it feels. Amazing. Okay. One step at a time, I make my way over to the table. Her silky braids gently rest by her sides, and unlike before, her braids only move due to her actions. Wait, what? Okay, I need to save that. I mean, I run it on the phone into something interesting considering work. Okay, bookmark it. Yes. Alright. So, definitely it's worth to approach her, which we've already done. And yeah, that's how it's going to be. Right? Anyway, as I draw closer, she takes notice of my presence and directs her head towards me. She hesitates to speak, but I plan to take the initiative from the beginning. I really did plan that. Hi Carrie, it's me from earlier. I don't think I've ever got a chance to introduce myself. I try my best to avoid sounding nervous. Walking up to a girl sitting by herself is pretty noticeable to everyone in the hall. You know what I messed up? There was probably a name, a generic name for character we play as, and that name might be in the voiceover of the game. So that's quite problematic. Because she probably, I'm 100% sure she won't be she won't be able to pronounce my name. God damn it. Anyway, my name is Arthur. Which, no matter how you look at it, is kind of a British name, so...
Hello. Thanks for earlier.
She's still pretty on edge. Perhaps I should just apologize to her and make a quick retreat. I'm sorry for walking up to you so suddenly.
Don't worry. I don't normally have people to eat with, so I'm glad.
She abruptly stops speaking after giving me a sign of gratitude. Her cheeks turn a rosy shade of red, and she directs her eyes away from me. I guess she's embarrassed. It did strike me as odd as to why she's alone. Aside from her lack of self-confidence, she seems like a fairly nice person.
I had an illness.
Well, that's a pretty fast development. I mean, she's already opening up. She goes straight on to why she's so alone. I never asked her, but I'm glad she thinks of me as close enough to her to explain to me, even though we just met. For given that she seems so introverted, maybe I am the only person that is. Give me a second because I still need to do this. Is that why she told me earlier that she needed to find out what class she was in? Her face continues to grow to deeper shades of red. Maybe I should converse with her to ease her explanation? For with her personality, I don't know if it will actually help. I can understand, I guess. I'm new here, so I don't really have anyone to eat with. It's not really as relatable as an illness, though. I can't regret opening my mouth. A lot of times in my life that happened. Her thought continues moving as her lips gently let out her unstable speech patterns.
I've been here since last year.
That's actually a pretty sad thought. If she's been here this long, how come she's this alone? Even with an illness, you'd expect her friends would still speak to her afterwards. So I'm making assumptions. For all I know, she could be good friends with a classmate that just doesn't eat in school or is absent. My gut feeling goes with my former conclusion in spite of that idea. She delicately twirls her additive hair braid nervously during the long times of our conversation. I can't really think of anything to say, so I decide to do something instead. I can't really think of anything to say. Wow, that sounds so like me. It's bold, but I tear a sheet of paper from one of my books and scribble my phone number on it. If you ever need anyone to keep you company, then you can call me anytime. Or if you see me around school, just say hi. I'd actually do either. Well, anyway, to downplay the forwardness of my actions, I think of the cheesiest quote I can and continue speaking. Birds of a feather flock together.
You're giving me your number?
For her voice is quiet, I can still sense she's a bit shaken up. I thought giving it to her would be acceptable in this day and age. People are practically dependent on their phones now. Still, giving your number to someone of the opposite sex will probably remain direct for years to come. What?
Thank you.
For some reason she thanks me. Her pale fingers reach out towards her back and she gently takes out a rather pink and cute looking phone. I didn't know anyone still used phone straps, but a daffodil charm swings in the air as she enters my number, her body shaking slightly all the while. I mean, it's still a thing, so... Now that you mention it, I notice... No, there is a place for the charm on my phone, okay. Anyway.
You're the first in the non-relative section.
From one side, that's great. From the other, kinda sad. But, okay. Finishing her sentence with a smile, she gazes at me. I smile back, of course, which in itself takes me a bit of courage, but her eyes quickly dart away to break our state of eye contact. She goes red again, and her mouth is slightly ajar, leaving her lips to glisten as the sunlight enters from the windows beside us. The chimes of the bell resonate throughout the room. I guess it's time to get prepared to go to class again. Carrie stands and shyly looks towards me as if expecting me to say something, which luckily for her I do. I enjoy speaking to her, even if she doesn't say very much. Like I said, feel free to contact me anytime. For right now, I guess we should head back to class.
Okay.
Wait, you don't want to? She trots along by my side, slightly behind me, probably to keep her blushing face hidden, I guess. She seems to have a habit of going red. We part ways when I reach my classroom, with her giving me a hardly audible farewell once we do. Oh, father, ask me and you will go. Surprised for sure. The wooden chair behind my back is rigid and sticks into it, causing me slight discomfort. My eyes dart across the pages before me, looking for any information that could make my life easier. Oh. Well, you know. Depends what information you're looking for. I hate homework. Oh, I know what you mean. Words echo around the room as I speak solemnly to myself. I thought that it would be easier to just copy the answers straight from the textbook, but apparently they are not here. This heavy workload, however, does seem to compensate for the rather tranquil day at school. I did meet someone interesting though. The blossom of rose on her cheeks, her silky gold hair and her hushed voice. Carrie's presence would be minuscule to many, but I can't get her off my mind. Which is understandable. Arthur, dinner's almost ready! Okay, it's been half an hour and we've had 3 meals in the game. I'm hungry. Calls from my mother reached my ears as I just about to give up on my homework. It's not due for another week anyway, so I closed the book and haphazardly tossed it back on the shelf. The smell of cooking guides my way towards my door, but just as I'm about to leave my room, something stops me. My cell phone chimes and vibrates slightly on my desk, leaving me to consider who might be calling. If you ever need anyone to keep you company, then you can call me anytime, or if you see me around school, just say hi. That's right, I gave Carrie my number, didn't I? I wasn't expecting her to call me, but I guess she was probably checking that I wasn't giving her a fake number as a joke. Arthur, are you coming? I'll be down in a minute. Probably not a minute, but it shouldn't be that long. I might just tell Carrie to come back, but the least I can do is answer the phone. I pick up the device from the desk and answer the call. I can hear you breathing. Carrie breathes through the speaker, her nervousness all too apparent, even through a mobile call. Hello? Carrie?
Hello? I wanted to see if you'd answer.
Are you testing me? Exactly what I was expecting. Carrie's voice seems a lot clearer, and the nervousness I had once heard is pretty much gone. It's because she isn't speaking to me in person. Of course I answered. I gave you my number, didn't I?
You did. Thank you.
You didn't think it was fake, did you? I teased her about it. To be honest, if she gave me her number, I would probably think it was fake too. That is, if she wasn't so timid anyway. If her personality was different, she would probably be pretty popular. Why would you bring that up? Don't worry, I'm only teasing.
Oh.
Teasing girl I just met seems pretty abnormal, but I can't deny her response was adorable. You seem fairly relaxed. I call her out on the contrast of her speech patterns. I already know the answer, but I just want to show her that she can speak to people clearly if she just tries.
I find it easier speaking to people over the phone. I'm sorry if it seems rude.
No, it's fine.
I call my father a lot.
She did say I was her first known relative contact.
I really wanted to speak to you.
Her stutters flare up again. The concept of calling someone from school is still probably quite foreign to her. Arthur, your dinner will go cold at this rate! I get another shout from the dining room. By now, my family has probably started eating without me. It's quite a traditional thing in this house for everyone to eat together. I'll have to tell Carrie to call me back. I'd like to speak to you too, but do you think you can call me back? Really in about half an hour? My dinner's ready and my mother is being quite persistent about it.
Oh. Okay.
Carrie sounds a bit dejected about it, but there is nothing I can do. My mother is quite strict at times, but she'll probably scold me for ignoring her if I don't go now. Carrie bid temporary farewells and I head downstairs, leaving the phone on my desk.